Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here we talk about everything spirituality, supernatural, and the unorthodox. So I'm not going to do a tarot right now. I am going to talk about the energies that are going on with this here lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces that we are experiencing and the energies that are presented with that right now. So I recently just watched a video, lots of videos actually. They're just surfacing all over TikTok and YouTube and stuff, and it's about the energy of the sun and how the sun is changing and how the sun and the moon are appearing in the sky at the same time, and these phenomena that are happening with these rainbow clouds and the UFO sightings and all these things that are happening. And ironically enough, I was just studying the book of Enoch, and Enoch goes into great detail about the cycles of the sun and the cycles of the moon. And great detail. We're talking about how there are multiple portals set up on each specific direction of the planet, north, east, south, and west. And Enoch says that there's 3 portals in each direction, and each season, depending on what, I'm not too sure, but each season the sun will come from portal 1, portal 2, portal 3, portal 4, portal 5, portal 6, whatever, and land in another portal, and how the moon does the same thing. And it does this until the end of time, they say, until the end of the age. The age of what? The age of Pisces. If you don't know, our time has been adjusted greatly by the Roman Catholic Church. We have this Gregorian calendar that we follow, and this calendar and these time zones and the messing of time and setting clocks back and moving them forward and adjusting our calendars to move off of the natural calendar, which is our moon. Our moon operates in 29 and 28 day cycles. Enoch goes to say that there are 3 months out of the 364 days of a cycle, not 365 days, but 364 days, where 3 months out of that time, the moon is in cycle 30 days. 1 month, it is in cycle 28 days, and the rest it is in cycle for 29 days. And the 30 days fall more in the winter fall area, where the daytime, the sun has less time and the moon has more time. So those would be the months of the winter, like December, January, February, or even November, December, January. I haven't gotten that deep into my studies, but I'm like, hey, this sounds very familiar. Where the calendar that we live by, some months are 31 days, taking away from or adding. You know what I'm saying? Like we have, our times are just so jacked up that we are completely out of sync with the natural rhythm of the earth. And Enoch goes on to say that it will be in its natural order until the end of time, which we have reached an end of time, the end of Pisces. And Pisces is about faith. It's about, Pisces is, walk by blind sight, just by intuition and, like I said, faith. But we are now in and celestially entering the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is about knowing. Okay, Aquarius is about facts. And if the facts don't line up with the doctrine, then we're throwing it out. Okay, this blind faith era, follow me without having any instruction, without having anything to back it up, is gone. All right. And I have been feeling that energy. I myself am a Pisces. And for the past few decades, I have been just leading by blind faith. Lots of things have been happening in my life, and people are just like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, everything's going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to lead by faith, blind faith. And they're like, but you don't have anything, blah, blah, blah. Blind faith has what I've been. But recently, my energies have shifted, and I'm like, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make dollars. And if I can't back it up with facts, I don't want to embark on this. If I can't make this verbally make sense to where it's comprehended by others, if this is something that is only makes sense to me in my universal mind, and I can't get it to make sense in a factual way for others, then I'm tossing it out. And that's just the area that we're in. If you've noticed, we have these Gen Zs, and these babies let you know right now, that don't make sense. What you mean I gotta do? Why do I have to do what you say do? Why? If you can't tell me why, I'm not gonna do it. If it doesn't make sense, then you're not gonna force me to do something. If it doesn't align with whatever, my morals and whatnot, I'm not gonna do it. These Gen Zs are all about it. They're like, they are questioning everything that this land, that the powers that be have put in motion. And I love that. I love that so much. But yes, so with that being said, I was reminded of a dream. I used to have and what am I gonna say used to? I used to have these, what would you call it? I used to have these dreams, prophetic dreams, if you will, and they would come like, goodness, they would come quicker than I could remember them, and or quicker than I could like write them down and analyze it, right? And I've had quite a few, but just more spread out. But around 2000 let me get this right, y'all. I want to say it was around 2015. So this is 9 years ago. Okay. Around 2015. I had this dream, and partially the dream. Y'all see that? Wow. Side note. Before I go, so my third eye, my forehead, it really has been like, but I don't know, almost like a bruise right there. Moving on. So yes, okay, so in this dream, I'm at it looks like a cabin by a lake or a body of water, maybe a river or stream, trees, anything that you could think of that is a cabin lake view, right? And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in this dream. And everyone there's children that are running around in between the trees playing tag, and there's like water guns, and there's a lot of grown-ups. People have plates. There's barbecuing. There's like rafts and just, boats and whatnot, and there's a lot of people in this dream. And the people in the dream at the time, I didn't know who they were. There was a black gentleman who was barbecuing. He had 3 gold teeth. And I had remembered it because it was like one was open faced and the other ones were not. And it was like, it was like this one, this one, this one. And it was like 3 of them. And I was like, but he was amazing. He was just so, the energy that he possessed was just beautiful. It was very beautiful. And yeah, later that year, I would actually meet a prophet who just recently, before meeting me, he had removed his gold teeth, and he had the 3 gold teeth. And I met his wife and his children, and their faces were the faces that were in my dream. Many other people are in this dream as well. So anywho, so the dream is like, we're sitting, there's a back patio, there's a grill, there's picnic tables, people are eating and whatnot, and there's this body of water surrounded by these trees, and there's this cracking noise, loud cracking noise, and I look up to the sky that's over the body of water, and the clouds start forming a ring like this, but just in the sky like this. So it starts forming a ring as if like, the symbol of the snake biting its tail, right? And it's moving, it's swirling, and the inside of it is black, as if a portal of something had opened, and it's swirling for some time. Where I in the dream, I'm looking and I'm like tapping people, and I'm like, look at that, what is that? And the kids, they're just like, oh my God, everybody's screaming in amazement and shock. And then, as if a fire hydrant had been burst open, water shoots out, like, and it's just in a massive amount of water, and it hits this body of water, and the body of water just, and when water hits something, the rest of the water kind of falls up like this. So this happens, and immediately everybody runs in the house. We're getting everybody in the house. We're making sure that all the kids are in the house or whatever. Everybody makes it into the house just in time for the water, because it starts to flood, just for the water to like smash against the door. Boom, right? Shut the door. And it's one of those kitchen doors where it has like a window. You can see out the back. And over the kitchen sink, there's a window, and there's like a window over by the eating area, and you can see the water rising. Yeah. And I turn around, and when I turn around, there's a entryway, and you can see into the living room. And the living room, I found it very odd, because the living room had one of those old floor model TVs, click, click, click antenna. And I look over because I wanted to see if all the children were inside while this water is flooding us, right? And I look over, and all the children are sitting down crisscross applesauce, and they're watching this floor model TV. There's cartoons on, and they are seemingly unbothered. It's as if they do not sense what is happening outside. And that gave me like a sense of peace. And I was like, okay, they're okay. And then I turn back around to look out the window, and I see people swimming by. Not even swimming by, like they're holding on to the house. They're making that squeaky noise, trying to grab at the window. You can see bubbles coming out of their mouth. They're like, oh, they're trying to scream, but they're underwater, so they're drowning. And it's just like carcasses, dead, just dead, just people. Just, you can see them dying, and floating in this water, or drowning in this water, or whatever you want to have to say. I don't know. And that was, I don't recall the rest of that. I want to say like I woke up after that, and I spoke to the prophet about this, and I had let him know, like, I believe that you were in my dream, and your family was in my dream, and some of the church members, I recall them being in the dream as well. And it speaks about the time that we're in now. A lot of people have been absolutely consumed by the things of this world, for lack of better words, and the entertainment, the idea that there is some type of American dream to be, there's some greatness in owning property, owning, just the crap that we consume ourselves with, and we take away from what is natural, which is we are a part of nature. Okay. The children being unaffected, they're watching an old school floor model TV. This indicates that they are not entertained by this new technology. Understand? They are very well grounded. Everything is on the floor. So their vision is grounded. Their vision is something that cannot be altered by what is up here. This imaginary, if you do this, you can have this. They are not moved by that whatsoever. And my children are like living this. It's such a different thing raising my older kids to these younger ones. Oh my gosh, it's just so different. And the people that were outside, right? It was understood to me that these were the people that enabled the false narrative. These were the people, when it says the high shall be made low and the low shall be made high. It was that, and it just spoke of the change of the times, leaving the age of Pisces and entering into the age of Aquarius. So yeah, I was reminded about that, and I'm just like, okay, this energy that is going on with this lunar eclipse today, like I've been feeling the effects in my body, like a lot in my legs, in my hips. My neck is like extremely stiff, regardless of working out and things like that, because I've started a new regimen and just loving myself even more. And side note, like I was watching 19 Keys and Billy Carson and Yaki Awakening, and they were discussing that 19 Keys had made a very, very great note, he says, how can you say you love yourself and you can't even do a push-up? You can't even run a mile. You don't have the capacity to do anything with your body, but yet you say you love yourself. Like, and I was like, you know what? The time period of disillusion, and being, once again, being a part of the mainstream media, eating the processed foods, I mean, even being a vegetarian at the past time, it was like, oh, look at all this processed food that I can eat because it doesn't contain any animal in it. And it was ridiculous. Like, I mean, when they were like, oh, Oreos are vegan, I went ham on the Oreos, you know, and it just, that things are just not healthy for you. And after having multiple children and just listening to other people like, girl, you still look good after having all these kids, you don't need to work out. And it just was like, oh, okay. Then this, excuse me, please don't hate me, then this fat girl era comes and everybody is just okay with being 200-300 pounds and being Lizzos. And it's like, okay, even Lizzo is out there losing her weight. You know what I'm saying? It is absolutely disheartening to be a victim inside your own body. And so that's what I've been doing. I was like, you know what? If it doesn't come from earth, I don't want it in my body. If I can't grow it, I don't want it in my body. If it doesn't come off of a tree or from the ground, it's not going in my body. Even like, you know, I love almond and cashew milk, and I just was like, just last week, I took a look at the ingredients and I was like, what the heck is all of this? Nope. So I soaked my own almonds and made my own almond milk, and it was so much better than buying it. And I was like, you know, it just, the age that we are coming from is such a lazy age. And we have gotten so wrapped up in being codependent on commercialized groceries, and it's like, my kids get upset with me because they're like, you're always talking about health, you're always talking about you're going to take this food from us and you're going to take that food from us. Yes, I am. And it's not a new thing, baby. Like, I've been telling you, we're not going to do this, we're not going to eat that. If you want that, you better find that outside this house, because it ain't going to be in here. Because my job is to make sure that you are being led in the right direction. When you get old enough to make your own decisions, you can go in the direction that you want to, and that just will be your path to enlightenment. As far as my path to enlightenment, I need to follow what I gotta follow, and because I'm your mama, you gotta do it too. So, that's my ramble for today, I suppose. I just want to remind you all that I love you so very much. We are all a part of each other. We are here for each other. And if there is anything that you need, any questions that you want to ask, or any topics that you want to touch on, please don't hesitate. Drop it in the comments below. Like this video, share, and subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. Peace.